Hi folks and welcome back. Today we're going to take a quick look at Total War Arena. Now this is a game that's kind of slipped under my radar. I hadn't heard of it or even been aware of it at all until one of my friends pointed me at it and said, go and get into this now. You can sign up and get early access and into the closed alpha. And if you're interested in the Total War type games, I suggest that's exactly what you do. Head over to www.totalwar.com/arena and you can sign up. It's totally free. Get into it and get into the alpha testing. Now I don't know how long this is going to be open for, so if you like the look of the game you're going to see in the rest of the video, then head on over, link in the description, and check this out. So what exactly is Total War Arena? Well, if you're familiar with the Total War series of games, it's basically a continuation of that, except it's gone online only, massively multiplayer. Now for those of you not familiar with the Total War series of games at all, they were a series of games that were set over different periods in history, and you would control a budding empire of some sort, be it Roman or medieval or Napoleonic. And there were two sides to the games. One side you'd be controlling the empire on a global map and dictating which cities were built and conquered and taken over. And the other side of it, which is what Total War Arena is going to focus on, is the combat. You would control armies of units, infantry, archers, cavalry, or in more modern stuff like Napoleonic, musketeers and cannon, and you'd fight against an opponent, either AI or player. And this is where Total War Arena comes in. It's all massively multiplayer, it's all about the fighting. It's 10 players aside, and each player has a commander and their 3 units at the moment. I don't know whether this is planning to change or increase, but it's enough. That makes battles at 30 units aside, and thank God you're only controlling 3 of them. Can you imagine trying to control armies of that size? That was pretty difficult in the Total War games. Here you can see I've got Julius Caesar as my current commander. Now there are other commanders in the game and different nations. So under the Romans you've got a choice of Julius Caesar or Germanicus, and these guys have different abilities. You can see on the right hand side here, these are abilities the commander gets that you can actually level up with experience gained fighting battles. For example, Germanicus gets a heavy infantry charge command or raised shields, and you can level these up, and as you level them up the commands become more powerful. Julius Caesar has different abilities to increase speed, increase attack, or increase projectiles, and you can customize your army. So if you prefer playing one particular style of troops, then you can go with a commander that suits them. Now there are premium commanders going to be in the game as well, but they all offer different abilities. We've also got the Greeks in there with Leonidas. Anyone who's watched 300 should be pretty familiar with him. Obviously he's a very heavy defensive general. We've also got Alexander the Great, who's going to be a cavalry general. Got a couple of Gauls in there for now, although they are just placeholders. Now not only do you level your general up through fighting battles and earning XP with him, but you level your units up as well. Now you can see here I've picked a selection of swordsmen and some skirmishers with javelins for my infantry. This is obviously going to be different depending on which nation you're choosing to play. You can of course play all the nations, you're not tied into choosing one. But these are all the units available in game at the moment to the Romans, and this is quite a selection. You can see how you start off with just militia swordsmen and gradually level them up through experience, etc. Same with the skirmishers, they increase, and there's all sorts of other units thrown in, all the way up to tier 10, where they get big and heavy. We've also got siege engines in the game, but I haven't played long enough to come across any of those yet. And individual units can be upgraded as well. As you can see, these are my Italian swordsmen. They are a tier 2 unit. I'd start off with these basics, and I've earned enough experience to unlock some extra armour in the way of helmets or breastplates, or maybe some swords. So let's get some swords bought on those guys, increase their effectiveness. Now Commander XP also works as free XP effectively, so you can use that to level stuff up, but I think generally that's probably best saved for your commander himself. And here you can see the commands available to this particular unit from the commander. For example, this parry command increases melee defense, as you might expect. And then we've got these skirmishers. Now these are quite comical looking guys with these hats, but they are farmers' hats. I've increased the armour. These guys have a lot of XP. I've got a lot of nice kills with my skirmishers, done quite some good work with them. So let's give them some shields, just to help them survive a bit longer. Upgrade those javelins to some better ones, and we've got enough XP left over to increase the armour as well. Now of course we do have to buy these. So let's make sure we get those guys tooled up. And then it's just a case of fighting to unlock the level 3 units. Now you can of course play this solo and get thrown into a random game with a load of other teammates, or you can join up with your friends and go in as a little group. Now today I'm going to go in as a solo game, so let's go and check out a fight. So just loading into the pre-planning now. As you can see, we've got a nice mix of players and forces on each side, so you don't have to be all the same nation to play. That's great. One thing I will say though, if you're playing with friends, make sure you're picking commanders and units of around about the same tier. Units, I think, most importantly, of the same tier. Otherwise, you might end up in some pretty awfully mismatched games. Okay, here we are in the pre-battle planning. So you can see the locations on the map. Well, this is, I basically need to choose one of these to spawn in. Go on, let's take a position at the front there at number 4. Now, if you're playing with friends, it's a good idea if all of you can spawn in a similar area. It's not too important though, because you can quite quickly catch up. You'll notice there's a base flagged on the map as well. Each side has a base. Very important to defend those. Now, one feature they put in, which may be changed, is that you can draw on the map. Now, I think the idea is that you draw your battle plans and where you're going to deploy and all the rest. However, most people use it to draw faces or to draw cocks and things. Okay, so we're straight into the game. We can see my forces. The controls will be fairly familiar to anyone who's played Total War before. In fact, there's a selection for Total War camera or the arena camera, whichever you play. I've just got the drawing tool still on there. There we go. Let's get these selected. And it's just a simple select on the map where you want to go, select your units, and off they go. Now you can see I've got a selection of swordsmen and skirmishers. There's all sorts of other units in the game. There's archers, the spearmen of course, they're quite popular. There's cavalry, although I haven't come across any of those yet. And it's a bit of a rock, paper, scissors type of thing. So obviously spears beat cavalry, cavalry beat skirmishers, and that sort of thing. If you're familiar with the Total War sort of mechanisms in these games, you'll be right at home in this. Now, I want to move up with the rest of the army, get some support. So let's get these guys going forward. Now, you can see on the map here, let's just come forward with the camera, these lit up bits that are glowing a bit brighter, that's where we can see. So obviously we can't see into dips and hollows in the ground, and we can't see through woods, and we can't see too far from our forward units. So it kind of makes gaining vision on the map quite important in this, and you can use fast light troops to help gain vision and go and see places. And I like the way that vision doesn't penetrate into woods too much. Ambushes are a very real possibility in this map. So let's see what we've got. Soldiers going down there, we can have a look. Oh, enemy spotted over that side. There is quite a fight going on over there. My guys aren't anywhere near that. However, if I could get on top of there, I could chuck some spears and javelins down. Well, javelins really. Let's get these fellas moved up. There is bound to be something coming up the middle here. In fact, let's start getting into a bit of a proper formation. Now my commander is in the unit of swordsmen, so I want to try and look after him a little bit. And we've found the enemy here. Right, let's get some of these going. Let's get some of these abilities off. Getting some good kills up there. Let's get my swordsman up as well. I don't want to get the swordsman targeted. Now one thing I've got to watch out for here is friendly fire. I don't want to drop any missiles onto my guys or my friends here running in. You can see more skirmishes coming up. Let's get some fire onto those. Just going to leave my swordsmen. I don't want them to get shot, so let's get them into some cover. And those skirmishes over there, we can see the damage going in. They're kind of just sat there at the moment. My fellas are getting peppered quite badly there. Should probably be in a better formation to meet that. And now's the time to stop because we've got friends in the fight. I think I can maybe safely shoot some of them. No, maybe not. Let's get out of there. Let's get you out there. Now's a good time to pile in the swordsmen, I think. Go and take these guys in the flank. Help our allies out. In fact, let's get the charge going up. That increases our speed, I think. Let's get those fellas in. Right, Skirmish is doing a good job. Let's bring them up here. some more swordsmen over there. Let's go and pepper them with some javelins. My swordsman again stuck in. What's that? Parry. Let's definitely activate that. A bit of melee defense going on. So you can see the bars above our units. The top one is the morale, which is fine, and the next one down is health and numbers. And each soldier has their own hit points, I think, and they eventually get whittled down. So we've got... My guys are running off a bit too far over there. Don't want to lose track of them altogether. We are definitely winning this fight here. That's good. Let's see what can we do over here. Numbers at the top of the screen give you an idea of how your side's doing compared to the enemy. Well, you can see enemy troops over there quite strong. There's a big group. I can't go and throw missiles into that lot without hurting all my friends. Right, let's get him up there. You can move around the battlefield quite easily by double clicking on a unit if it's got separated and go and see where it's gone. Right, let's get some missile troops up here. And just bring up my support. Actually, let's get those up there. I think I can maybe safely javelin some of these guys. Nope, no, that's friendly fire. Let's definitely not do that. Definitely get some of those guys in. Nope. Oh, that's a nice little angle going in on there. Let's get plenty of things in. They are more missile troops, but right, we have to watch out for our guys now. We'll make sure we bring our swordsmen up. There's a fight going on there. Looks like our side's doing very well in this. This is a perfect situation here. I sat top of the hill. Move those guys up there. I should get some nice points going on. Right, what else can we find to kill? Actually, those guys are running off. I think they're about to get trapped, actually. Now, this player looks like he's got 3 units of skirmishers. It's a good idea to mix your units up a little bit. You can focus on one, but... Whoops. I don't want any more of that, thank you very much. No more friendly fire. But you get an XP bonus for having more than one unit type in your army. So it's well worth just taking one extra one. And it gives you more flexibility in the game as well. Right, let's see if I can catch some of these guys up. They're just going for a run. Well, they can run away, but I don't think it'll do them any good in the long run because we'll just cap their base. Can win by capping. Maybe I should go and get stuck into that. I don't think I'm going to be able to run those fellas down. One thing it's well worth watching out for, by the way. A sneaky enemy player can sneak around the edges and cap your base without actually getting into much fighting, so you've definitely got to watch out for that. Whoops, let's get these fellas selected. And victory! It was actually a base cap, so players can't just kite around the battlefield indefinitely. So we got some nice work done in that game. That was my first game of the day, so we picked up some extra XP for the first game and some bonus for using more than one unit type. And you also get a daily commander bonus as well for the victory. So we earned some credits, some free XP. Check out the results and the scores here. We didn't do too bad, although we didn't get as stuck in as some of these other players. But what that does, all that XP, we get some points to spend upgrading our commander. Now I can increase either of the abilities I use. There's the Veni, which is increased speed and charge damage. You saw me using that a few times to try and catch people up. The Vidi, which I also use for increased projectile. Or the, is it Vici? I'm afraid I'm not up on my Latin. Inspire your allies to heighten combat skills. That's the one I'm going to save up for, I think, rather than spending it. Now, as you spend these, you do go up in tier. You see, I've got 2 points in. That makes him a tier 2 commander. You can't control units of a higher tier than your commander, so you do need to upgrade them at some point. But there's no need to rush up, I think. So let's just replenish all my units. Didn't take too much damage there, thankfully. Got 98 XP to spend. Let's give them some better shields. We'll buy those. And obviously, the better your units do... Oh, these skirmishers got a lot of kills in that. So I'm well on my way to saving up for the next units there. And so that essentially is Total War Arena, or as much as I've had to look at it so far. I think the game's pretty good. I think it's got a lot of potential. I'm really looking forward to see which other nations and unit types they bring into it. And what I'm mostly looking forward to is playing with my friends with this, because when you get in a group to play this, it's so much more fun. You can coordinate your actions, you can rush to each other's aid when you need support, and I think it's really good. If you're a fan of these real-time strategy type games and these point-and-click type of military fighting games, then I think you'll really like this. So definitely go and sign up now if you want to get into this and try it out. As I say, it's totally free to play. I don't know how long access is going to be up for to sign up for this early access alpha testing. It might be open completely from now on, or they might shut it down. But if you want to have a go, don't wait. Go and sign up straight away. Link down in the description. And other than that, just let me know what you think of it, whether it's your sort of thing, whether you like these games, and if you start playing it, let me know how you're getting on. This was just a quick taster video, just to make you aware of it and give you an idea of what it's all about. I'm looking forward to playing more, and I'm really looking forward to trying out all the different units and nations. And all being well, I'll be bringing you videos of those in the near future. So do stay tuned, and maybe even subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, so you can catch those videos when they come out. Anyway, thanks for watching folks, and I'll catch you next time.